Selling online is about to change forever because we're entering a brand new era. AI can talk to customers, scammers are flooding my inbox, and trust is at an all-time low, lower than my teenage self-esteem. But the good news is, it opens up huge opportunities for the people that are ready. I know this because I've closed hundreds of high-ticket deals in the past 6 months, and I've noticed these changes are creating actually massive opportunities. So in this video, I'm going to cover the 7 biggest shifts and how you can prepare for the world forward. Starting with number 1, price curiosity creates chaos. Pricing is the only leverage that we have at the end of the day as salespeople. When prospects jump on a call with you, that's the only thing in their mind. How much does it cost? So we hide it behind discovery calls, we create curiosity, and we use it as bait so people can get on the phone. Then, and today, everyone does this, and buyers are fed up. So if prospects can't get information up front, they don't think exclusive, they're gonna think, I'm gonna talk to a hardcore closer or a time waster. So be aware and don't prostitute the prospect's time. Even if you get someone on a call, they're asking you to tell them the price from the start, and they're getting more and more resistant. But top salespeople like me and you possibly have already noticed this and flipped the script. So here's how I do it. I position price as a filter. I don't hide it, but I use it to filter the best prospects. You can also say this in your marketing. You can give them a range starting from $50 up to $50,000. So if that's something that's outside your budget range, it's better that we don't waste our time together. A third way you can do this is you create price anchoring content. So how you do that is, for example, if you're selling a group coaching program, first you're gonna mention the cost of the one-on-one. So for example, you can say something like this. So when I work with clients one-on-one, the cost is $200,000 for 12 months, which it's more for companies 30 million plus in revenue. So what I would suggest for you is something like our group coaching program. That's a much more affordable investment. Is that something that you wish to explore? Now what happened is I anchored them at a high price, the 200,000. So now if I present to them a 10,000 option, it feels like a bargain. Number 4 is being able to develop case studies, comparison charts, ROI calculators that help them get clear on the numbers before they get on the call. So the way I used to do it in the past is when I had my marketing agency, I used to include in one of the outreach emails or the emails leading up to the call, a calculator. So they can calculate their conversion rates that they're getting now, so they can clearly see how many sales are they leaving on the table. A 5th way of doing it is breaking your sales process into 2 separate calls, one discovery call and one consultation call. And what happens is in your initial discovery, you're gonna go through the first phase, the pain discovery phase, and at the end of that call, you'll say something like this. Well, based on what you've shared, the investment range and the product line that fits according to your criteria is the 5,000 range up to 10,000 range of products. Now, before we book the next call, where we decide on the final solution, is that something that's doable for you? So you can qualify them up front on your first call and then close the deal on the second call. I would suggest you only do this when you feel a lot of tension around the pricing. Don't do it in every single call because you'll create unnecessary tension. Now, the second biggest problem in the industry today is that prospects see sales calls as a trapdoor. You telling them, hey, let's jump on a quick call, used to open the door, but now prospects slam it shut because sales calls was a way to get information and discuss with them how to get help around a specific problem. But all of the aggressive sales strategies, the cheesy sales professionals, the Andy Elliott types create negative experiences around the process. So now, whenever a prospect hears, hey, the next step is to jump on a call, immediately you create resistance. But there is a way around it. So here's how to fix the sales process. Start by creating a pre-call relationship. Instead of forcing them to jump on a call right away, qualify them through sell-by chat. So ask them the right questions, build some rapport with them, send them some marketing material that they can consume to build rapid bonding with them. So when you offer the call, the relationship has already started. You can also use voice notes, videos, or other medium to get them to know you a little bit before you ask them for marriage, to jump on a call with you. This will create that familiarity. This will create some trust between the two of you while it's being made through an asynchronous medium. At the same time, it can be highly, highly effective before you offer to hop on a call with them. And you have to remember, the more personalized the voicemail is, and the more insightful, the more committed to the live conversation they will be. When I used to do cold emails for my marketing agency, I didn't promise them a loom up front. I used to include my entire offer so they know what to expect when they engage with me. And the next step was, instead of me forcing them into a sales call, then I used to send the loom to explain the process, get them excited, get them emotionally hyped up, and then they were asking me to hop on a call. So I made an irresistible offer. I then presented my idea via a loom video only after they were intrigued, and then I created the environment so we can join a mutual call together, not me forcing them into a sales call with my criteria. And you always have to frame conversations to their benefit. You have to frame it as if I'm here to help you make the best decision for your situation. Either way, you're gonna leave the call unscathed. There's no hard selling over here. If I see that I can help you, I'm happy to present any relevant options. Now, would you be completely against to a conversation? That's how you can make it as easy as possible for them to say yes. Danger number 3 in today's landscape is that messages aren't personal anymore. Your DMs used to be a gold mine for prospects, because back then, social media used to be the go-to place for social interaction. Then AI came and it invaded everything. Now every prospect's inbox is like a bot party. So now buyers assume messages are automated from the get-go unless you prove to them otherwise. This means that it's harder than ever to have actual conversations that create that connection. This means that you have to overcome objections before you even talk. This means that you have to create trust before you start probing and clarifying. So here are some changes that I made to adapt to the situation. First of all, you have to double click on ultra specific details. Whatever you see on their profile, their pictures, their bios online. Pick a fact about them that's relevant, but don't be too creepy about it, and include it into your outreach or in your sales conversation. You can mention a recent post, a mutual connections comment, company latest announcement, or a specific detail that you see about their life, again, without being creepy. Also, include voice messages strategically. Don't send them a 2-minute long voice note. Just be strategic. Send them a 10-second, 20-second one. One that they can hit play, understand in one listen, and they can move on. My next point is use conversational imperfection. I made errors on purpose all the time. I mispronounce words, I introduce typos all the time because I want to show them that it's hard for a bot to be that wrong, so it has to be a person. Make sure you're including natural speech patterns, casual language, and again, typos to signal that genuine human connection rather than hyper-polished automated messaging. You're always safe to inquire about particular aspects around their business and recent achievements. Remember, people love talking about themselves and their achievements, so tap into their ego side. Ask them about how they made that happen. What was exciting about that moment? And remember, have some fun with it. It's very hard not to seem like a bot if you're forcing them through a conversation that feels like an interrogation. So have some fun with it, crack some jokes, and show them that you're human. Number 4 dangerous point. Pitches are being recycled. Every single prospect has heard your pitch before. Not your exact pitch, but it's super close with everything that they say online. Because sales strategies like NAPQ, the Jordan Belfort system, the Grant Cardone system, the Andy Elliott system, these are becoming mainstream and they blow up on social. And what ends up happening is when you repeat the same words, the same frameworks, your prospects are actually watching the same videos and they know you're trying to manipulate them. So what happens is prospects tune out the moment they realize you're following a script, and it's actually easier than ever for them to get access to these scripts. But top performers learn how to be unpredictable. Here are a couple of things that I do. I use storytelling instead of future lists. So I create my future lists, but I put together a specific narrative to them. I also replace bullet point presentations with specific examples and metaphors that illustrate points through client situations or specific outcomes. I also use a lot of reverse psychology. If I want them to open up, I open up with them first. If I see them getting too detached, I'm the first one that will push them away. And it works like a charm. Try it sometime. When someone or a prospect is too detached from a conversation and they start giving you one-word answers, try to disengage from the conversation. Try to say something like, it sounds like the timing might not be the best for you. Should we continue this conversation at another day? And watch as they will say something like, oh, apologies, I was distracted, I'm here with you. Also remember to challenge prospects' assumptions to get them thinking about their situation. Where gold lies isn't where you find a symptom. Where gold lies is when you ask the right question after they explain the problem with you, and you get them to think about their problem in a different perspective. That's how you know you got them. And this comes from asking direct, unconventional discovering questions. Don't just ask them, what do you need right now? Well, what's missing? What's the biggest challenge? Every single monkey with a script can ask them that. So think out of the box. Take a specific problem you're solving with your solution and try to craft a specific question that if they answer, it leads directly to a future of your solution. You have to move beyond standard pain point questions and vision questions and use specific metrics to measure their success based on what you're selling. It never hurts to use their own words and their own frameworks also to open up their mind. Fifth danger in the marketplace today: reps are guilty until proven innocent. The moment prospects learn that you're selling them, resistance walls go up, because salesperson now implies that you're commission hungry rather than an expert. Buyers assume you focus on closing deals instead of actually helping them. And the reason is, I can tell you, they've heard it before. No matter what you tell them. It's now easier and more common than ever to get pitched by a salesperson, and when the experience goes wrong, it hurts everyone. Because now that buyer is never going to trust someone selling them ever again, unless they're very good at it. So here's how to flip the script. First off, position it as a mutual qualification. You're qualifying each other. You're not qualifying them, but they're not qualifying you. Frame also your discussions as, I'm trying to determine if I can help you, rather than chasing them as a prospect to be won. Number 3 here is share when you feel this will not work for them. So don't jump on their neck like a bulldog when you see something that will help them. Instead, be a little bit contrarian and share with them, I'm not quite sure we're able to help with that. Is there anything else that you want help with? And sometimes you'll find people jump to defend you and say, well, it doesn't matter, I'll fix this on my own. Let's talk about this. What you can also do here, my 4th point, is proactively discuss scenarios where competitors or other approaches might serve them better. So if they see that you're trying to push them to go with a competitor, what are they going to do? They're thinking in their mind, oh, well, this guy really cares about what I achieve. He's not here just to sell me. The 5th point here is try to be as transparent about your process as possible. Explain exactly how you evaluate their fit, what questions you need answered, and why certain key information is vital for you to see if they're a fit for your solution. And number 6 is acknowledge the areas where your solution has constraints or problems. Like, make the skeleton dance, I call it. So if your solution has a hidden flaw, bring it up front and watch them as they trust you even more now. Point number 8 is replace and kill any sales language in your vocabulary. So don't say proposals, say suggestions. Don't say discovery, say an assessment. Don't say let's close the deal, say, well, are we gonna move forward with this engagement? Problem number 6 that I see ahead. Right now, objection handling is on hard mode. Let me think about it. Those 5 words used to hold some value, now they're a kiss of death. Because buyers use them to actually take time to process a decision. Now, there are so many options fighting for their attention that let me think about it has become a sale you'll most likely never hear from. So the moment you hang up and you accept that objection is the moment that they will be bombarded with the next option and the next option. And a delayed decision often gets left behind in a fast-paced sales environment. So not only that reduces and crushes close rates, but salespeople spend time following up with prospects who have already mentally checked out. But there are ways around it. First off is uncover the real concern, the problem behind the problem. Don't just believe them at face value around what they're telling you. Ask, why do you feel that's a problem? Make them defend the problem a little bit and watch as a root cause will reveal itself behind the problem they first expressed. Also, point number 2 is ask more direct questions. So help them sort out what exactly the problem is around them moving forward. So instead of just accepting, oh, let me think about it, say something like, well, just so I understand, and you can think about it all you want. Is this more on the budget, the timing, or something about what I just showed you that maybe is slowing you down from moving forward? That will help you find the actual objection behind the think about it deflection. My third powerful point is give them a decision-making model. For example, what I mean here is when they don't have exact buying criteria, give them the factors that they need to consider. So say something like this. When clients come to us, here are the top 3 buying criteria that they have. They want to learn how to handle objections, so they never lose another sale again. They want to generate more leads, so we give them a lot of ways they can tap into other channels and get sales through the DMs. And also what they value is tonality. They want to know how to use the right tone with clients. Now, which of these feels most important for your situation? So now I'm getting the prospect excited because I'm showing them, hey, other clients value these things, so now they include them as part of their vision. Can you see how powerful that can be? My last point is set specific next steps. So instead of accepting vague timelines, establish concrete follow-up plans. So let's schedule 15 minutes next Tuesday for any questions that can come up as you're thinking about it. Also make sure to differentiate the real consideration from rejection. So look at how they're making decisions, their timeline. Are they going to talk to stakeholders? Are they going to talk to a wife or their partner? So the more details you can get from them instead of vague responses will tell you how serious they are. The final threat that I see in the marketplace is that follow-ups are turning into desperation. The old advice was follow up until they buy or die, demonstrate professionalism, stay top of mind. But now every single follow-up message reminds buyers of AI bots in their inbox sending a templated message every day. And the worst part is they're so used to the noise that ghosting is the default nowadays. Think about it. When was the last time you actually read a sales follow-up that made you want to respond? I would argue almost never. Because people are stuck going through the motions, just hoping someone will respond. But the top 1% have it down to a science. Number 1 is make sure you're providing value. Don't just hit them up randomly. Add something into their day-to-day. You can share relevant insights. You can give them a training to watch. Help them make a purchasing decision. Another hack is implement strategic silence periods. So in your follow-up process, let's say you have your first follow-up is day 1, your second follow-up is after 2 days, your third follow-up is after 2 days. Then take a quick pause for 7 days. Let them breathe. And then you can continue the sequence with another follow-up every 2 days and then another break. This will show them that you're not attached at spamming them every 2 days, but instead, hey, I forgot about you. I had other deals to work on, and after a week that I remember you, I'm back in your inbox. Also, make sure you're creating urgency through scarcity. So reference any limited availability, any upcoming price changes, any calendar constraints, rather than let them push it for a random future timeline. What also helps me get a lot of sales a month is move unresponsive prospects into a more longer-term farming solution. Meaning, instead of trying to follow them up to close the sale, if you see them that they ghost you, move them into a long-term follow-up sequence where, for example, every 3 weeks, you do a soft touch where you're sending them content and you run a re-engagement campaign. If you want to see something like that, type re-engage below and I'll send you my document around that. But make sure you rotate. You can use text, you can use emails, you can use social media. Rotate the follow-up mediums to keep them engaged and keep them interested. Now, if you want to know what took me 34 years to realize and all my learnings, watch this video right here and I'll see you over there.